is a member of the Mice Chat Podcast Network. MicePod.com.
Still.
The podcast that's nearly the same as all the
Unless they've
others.
thrown us off yet. Warning, this show contains childish
I think we're safer now.
content and is intended for immature, mature audiences.
Just
Listener
hanging on my
discretion
bread.
is advised. The views spoken are ours and ours alone, not those of any other bugger. If you're easily offended, we strongly suggest finding another podcast. Everybody neat and pretty, then on with the show. If you're very easily offended, this is definitely the wrong podcast because we don't swear anymore.
There is that.
Blah, 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 blah. Oh, that's the one. Still got 22 seconds of this left. You don't have to applaud the fact there's 22 seconds left. Are you taking a mickey or what?
Appreciative audience.
Taking the mickey on a Disney podcast. I like it.
Who knows? Yeah, I was about to use something else, and I thought, no, maybe not. Maybe not. Oh, gentlemen, Happy New Year. Welcome back. Dear listener, welcome back, and Happy New Year to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for coming back.
Yeah.
We can barely manage to do that ourselves, so thank you for coming back.
Yeah, it's episode something. I've lost track. It's the mouse's head. I know we're all probably on a back to work thing and stuff. But gentlemen, what are we drinking?
Back to work thing. By the way, that's Paul. I'm Nick, and the other Paul
Yeah.
is over there.
If you didn't know that by now, we don't get any new listeners.
So, first actually on Disafterdark, I think, because I'm knocking through the Christmas booze, trying to use up what we got left, and we bought a bottle a while ago, but we didn't crack it open until Christmas of blueberry vodka. So I'm just pouring it into. There you go. That's just being poured into a glass now, which I'll be following up with the last of the lemonade. Which has got nothing to do, ironically enough, with the 92 film Last of My Heathens.
Was that Touchstone? Does it count?
Yeah.
Okay,
but,
we've run out of the Disney-related beer. We're on to Touchstone-related beer.
No, you see what it is, actually. What it is with that is the first time we ever had blueberry vodka was our first trip together to Orlando.
Yeah.
And we couldn't find it for many years, and all of a sudden, Smirnoff, and I believe our brands are available to sell it,
it's always good to start. It's always good to start the year off with a.
It's been a while. So blueberry vodka and lemonade. Happy New Year! Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers to you.
So should be continuing with the Disney theme, but I'm not. I'm going to continue with the fruit theme. So I'm using up the last of the flavoured ciders. Yeah, which it was. I've got a Bull's Black Cherry Bowlers. Here we go. Cheers.
It's very nice. That
I came out to the shed at the bottom of the Mouse's Head beer garden to set up the recording of the podcast. Realised just how damn cold it is here at the moment, and not very Floridian. So I got a Tassimo for Christmas, so I've got a latte.
Oh, I've got a Tassimo.
But I didn't want to let the side down, so I've put some honey Jack Daniels in it.
I still need to try that. I haven't tried the honey Jack yet.
It's yeah.
I've just had a realisation as well. Although the first time I had blueberry vodka was in Orlando, I just realised it was at City Walk, not Disney. But it counts, and it's a theme park.
Yeah.
I think,
Lee and Tracy will be clapping, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think we can quite happily occasionally mention other theme parks.
Yeah, other theme parks.
Don't you dare!
Fill in the end of that sentence if you want. And if you want to fill in any other sentences, of course, you can visit our website and let us know at www.disafterdark.com, or they can email us at podcast@disafterdark.com.
Oh, well, hang on. I forgot to press record.
What, since the beginning?
No, I was just saying that just to see the reaction I would get, but it wasn't as exciting as I thought it would be.
Okay, so...
Not drunk enough yet.
Yeah. Oh, dear.
So if you wanted to give full reaction, you can also find us on Twitter at Disafterdark and Facebook.com/Disafterdark. And we're also on nicechat.com.
And Instagram, occasionally, still. Although our resident current social media engineer has temporarily retired.
Taking a sabbatical.
Yeah. We've given him some time off. He's travelling the world, and he'll be back, hopefully.
We hope so.
Yeah.
If you're listening, we love you.
Yeah.
In both senses of the word.
Yeah.
I do, at least, anyway. If
Yeah.
that's what it takes, then I will do that. Just let me know. I'll do whatever it takes.
The sort of puns and jokes he may appreciate.
Exactly.
Dear.
So, I suppose this is the first show of the new year.
Well, it's the first show of the new year we're recording, but I still haven't released the Christmas one yet because I'm
Really?
so lazy.
Oh, happy Christmas and Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Did we, obviously, in the last show, that will go out probably the same time as this one,
Yeah.
we were talking about
about 5 minutes before, depending on the upload speed.
looking forward to Christmas. Did everyone have a nice Christmas?
As Christmases go, it was very, very pleasant, I have to admit, yes. Had the family round for both Christmas Day and Boxing Day. Well, two different sets of family. The in-laws round for Christmas Day. My parents round for Boxing Day. And it's always very nice. It's nice when you tell them that, we're having dinner about 1 o'clock and they turn up at 5 to 1. Don't bring any puddings. Eat dinner and then sod off without doing any washing up.
Really?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I figured that was some cheek. So next year next year I think we're going on a cruise.
What, for Christmas?
Yeah.
That's the second time he's mentioned the washing up. So if we ever go to his place, for God's sake, we better.
We know what we've got to do.
I mean, okay, we've got a dishwasher, but it's the thought that counts. You've got to at least offer.
You can still load the dishwasher, surely.
Yeah.
And how was yours?
Mine personally was quite pleasant. I've only got half family to worry about now, because half the family don't talk to me. So the half that do talk to me, that was nice. We saw them, that was great, and we spent Christmas with some dear friends of ours. It was supposed to be a Christmas night and Boxing Day thing, but it soon turned into a Christmas and Boxing Day extravaganza. Plenty of food and everything, and yes, little kiddie winks running around. It was obviously Lincoln's first Christmas, but it was completely pointless. Like, I tried to explain to people trying to buy him presents. Like, he's 8 weeks old by the time Christmas rolled around.
Yep.
He didn't know what was going on.
Nope.
People still wasted their money, so thank you very much for that. Appreciate it, because he will make use of everything that he got. But he didn't know what was going on. Alice was scared of Father Christmas. That was fun. But it was pleasant, and actually, surprisingly, not a very for us Disney Christmas.
No.
A few Disney bits for the kids and everything like that, but on the whole, not as Disney as many others. So.
Yeah, there were lots of Facebook posts, various friends and things saying, "Oh, how Disney was your Christmas," and that's. I know Michelle from the Mini Minxes. She and a few others seem to put like model monorails around their tree.
Yeah, that's very dedicated.
Which is a wonderful idea. I've just never thought of bringing one back, and thought, nah, I've barely got enough room for the tree as it is. It's bent over at the top, touching the roof.
Mr. Dolan, did you decide to stick a monorail around your tree?
I did not. No, in fact, I was just telling Paul we're in the middle of a domestic project right now. We're getting a new kitchen. But the place is in chaos right now. So we were in such bad shape that I didn't get the big tree down from the attic. We got a little one. It's about 2 feet tall. It's pretty sad. You wouldn't get a monorail run it. It would look, in scale with a monorail actually. So about the same sort of size, just a fucking monorail.
Yeah, the scale model tree.
Yeah. So no, but it was a nice Christmas. Little bit of Disney. We did all as a family sit down and watch Frozen, so that included 2 daughters and eldest daughter's boyfriend, who's a builder, and he wasn't into the idea of watching Frozen. But having said that, I think I did see him singing along a little bit. And then at the end of
I was like, no, carry on.
I was just going to say, at the end of it, we then showed him, that YouTube video where the 2 guys are in the car singing along to Yeah, we showed him that, and he did like that. That was good for a while. But no, it was good Christmas.
I still think the short with Frozen is very, very good. Get a horse.
Get a horse, yeah. It's really clever. It's good.
But to be honest, I would like to have said that Frozen was a film we put on at Christmas, but unfortunately, I watch it on YouTube most days when Alice decides that.
Alice watch it on YouTube. Just the
no. So Alice is 20 months old.
Yep.
Okay. For about the last 3 or 4 months, she's figuring out how to get YouTube working on an iPad and how to find the videos that she wants to watch. So it's Let It Go and In Summer. And for Christmas, so I'm also eating the last of the chocolates as well. Diet starts tomorrow. And for Christmas, somebody bought her the sing-along Frozen DVD.
Yeah.
Which is good because it meant that she could stop trying to pull down my expensive steelbook version of it, and she can watch her own DVD. And it's been on nearly every day, even to the point tonight where we were watching the Lego Movie.
Yeah.
And she decided she didn't like that and was trying to eject it from the PlayStation to put Frozen in again. So it's a bit of an obsession in this house, unfortunately.
It's a slight obsession, but not. Luckily, mine are starting to wane away from it. They haven't asked for it to be stuck on Apple TV and iTunes. They haven't asked for it to be played for, I'd probably say, about a month.
Wow.
Which, yeah, although they are into, stealing the iPad and sitting there. I don't know what they're watching at the moment. It's not Disney related, but it's like Littlest Pet Shops, Moshi Monsters, which they watch YouTube videos of them. And I'm going to go off the Disney trap here and get a bit weird. Because I don't know if you've ever had cause to look at any of them or accidentally stumble across them. If it's kids filming a short story of them moving stuff around and opening these little Moshi whatever it is fine, kids, fill your boots, great. It's when there are grown adults. Now,
right,
if you want to do it, fine, the guys who are bronies, if they want to do it, great, no problem. But these YouTube are watched by kids and it just seems really seedy to me. Just my personal opinion.
I've of course, the opinion of Disafterdark is not reflected purely in Paul Boniface, but on this instance probably is. But I don't really understand the whole brony thing. There's this documentary on Netflix about it. I do want to watch actually because I'm interested to find out more. But I get what you mean. It seems a little bit.
If you're into collecting stuff and you're a completionist or a complete, compulsive collector, and you want to complete your selection of Moshi Monsters, great. If you want to be a bloke who's into Disney and have a house with a complete collection of Frozen dolls, great. Fill your boots. Don't then film it, stick it on YouTube of you telling a story and involve Peppa Pig and anything else. It just strikes me as kind of weird.
A little odd.
Yeah, a little odd, but that's by and by, just me.
Actually, I did because of by proxy. I did get a kind of Disney present from my son actually. Yeah. And it went hand in hand with something my daughter bought me for my first Father's Day. And I don't know if you've seen this, but it's a small book, about A5-ish size, called Darth Vader and Son.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, and so Alice bought me for Father's Day Vader's Little Princess, and Lincoln completed the collection by buying me Darth Vader and Son. So it is now by proxy Disney.
Yeah,
isn't it?
That's true. I did get a set of grumpy pajamas, so that's about it. But other than that, I don't know. In the time that we have been away, I'll tell you what. Should we actually just do this bit now?
A view of the news with Disafterdark.
We've been going for a quarter of an hour. We might as well.
I thought we just had been talking about the news. It just happened to be our own personal news.
Our own personal news, but this is more, yeah. For me personally, the biggest news that, will be completely out by the time we actually go to press, so to speak, is the removal of the Sorcerer's Hat.
Yeah.
Yay.
It's been.
I was going to ask. So,
it?
what's your personal opinion on that?
Yay!
Yeah, you see, you know what? I think this is where people fall into two camps.
Yeah.
And a big door's just opened by the sound of it. If you just open up the door to the castle, saying Paul.
No. Love is an open door.
Oh, okay. So, and I'm sure I understand what camp you guys will fall into, but the first time I ever went to Disney World was in 2007. So I've ever only known it to have the Sorcerer's Hat. My wife, on the other hand, first went in 1996, I think, 97. So the hat wasn't there then. But I think because she relates it to when we've gone there, she's a bit gutted that the hat's going. And she's also sad that the kids won't have seen the hat by the time they first get out there as well. But I do understand the removal of the hat does add more to the ambience, if you will, of what the studios is about.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing you guys preferred the old look, which will now be the new look.
Well,
yeah,
I barely
remember
it.
When I first went.
Yeah, it was there once on the first time I went. No, it wasn't there the first time we went, but then every time we've been since, it's been there. So yeah, do I remember it from the first, or do I just remember an empty plaza with nothing there? Thinking this needs something here. I can't. I know it wasn't there, and if I duck back through the old VHS videos I took while we were out there, I'm sure I'd see it, but I don't remember it not being there. So, is it going to look empty? Ooh, I don't know.
No, I think you've got the Chinese theatre at the end of the street. I think it looks. I just remember when it went in, thinking, "Oh, that looks like crap."
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that when it comes out, I'm going to think that looks better, but maybe I won't. Maybe I'll miss it.
Yeah, all credit to it. It lasted longer than the wand over the Epcot ball.
Yeah, that is true. So, has there been any announcement of what's happening? Is it just a case of it is going and it'll be stored in some warehouse, or are they going to do what they did with the electrical parade Fantalusion, where they just leave it out somewhere to rot? Or are they, and this is what we were talking about earlier, we were talking about the hat removal today, are they going to just move it somewhere else? Because what they obviously tried to do with the Sorcerer's Hat was give MGM a massive emblem, a massive sign. So, the Tree of Life for the Animal Kingdom. Epcot has Spaceship Earth. Magic Kingdom has the castle.
Yeah.
So the Sorcerer's Hat was their kind of attempt of having something big and bold.
Although all the posters and everything, pre, post, and during, are all the Eiffel Tower, the water tower.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. So, there were a few bits of merchandise where you would get the Sorcerer's Hat, but I agree that the Eiffel Tower was still one of those things. See, to me, I think if they were moving the hat to outside the entrance,
so you walked under it to get in,
or even just past it,
even
like it was just off centre, so you have to walk past the hat. I think it would still be a nice centerpiece for it.
It's the sort of thing that you would just move and walk under to get into Fantasmic. I would say.
Yeah, Fantasmic would be a great place
rather
for
than
it as well.
Rather than the entry to the park, which I think is still the 1920s Hollywood glamour area. If you just stuck a hat on the top of that, that'd raise someone's ire.
You know what? I think it's a magical hat.
Yeah.
Surely you going under a hat and then appearing in the 1920s. Surely that's part of the magic, no?
No, that could pass. Yeah, that would be some lore and story for the park, I guess. But it's there's always the photo pass photographers in front of them, and the amount of photographs of people pointing at the top of the hat, or pretending it's smaller than it is, or pretending to wear it by taking cunning secret photographs from. So it's not going to be there anymore. That's where
that's one of the things that I think is a shame.
Yeah,
and that's why I would still like it to be involved in the park in some capacity.
Somehow. Yeah.
Because as you say, it is that. We've got a picture where we were told to stand a certain angle to it. It made it like we were standing underneath it and stuff. Yeah. And lots of people will have that. I understand both arguments for it, the for and the against.
Yeah.
Because what it does do, and I didn't even really think about this, but with it being where it is, it totally ruins the sight of the Chinese theatre.
Yeah.
So I get that. I get why people are against it. But at the same time, it's been such an integral part of people's trips over the years. It'd be the same as if there were, not quite the same, but if they decided to take away Cinderella's castle. and replace it with something else.
I can see the argument.
You know, I mean, obviously the castle is more integral to the Magic Kingdom than a Sorcerer's Hat is to the studios, but you know, you're still talking about something that has had a big impact on people's trips and memories.
Yeah.
I suppose that's why people are so angry when they turn into the birthday cake.
True.
Because that was sorry, excuse me. Because when Lindsay went, it was during that celebration, so the cake was done up as the birthday cake. So she liked that because she never knew it as anything else. But of course, a lot of people hated it because it was the complete opposite of what the cake should have been. The castle should have been, which is a very sickly looking cake. So it's interesting how these things, you know, give people different emotions to it. But yeah, I think it's a shame. I would be happier if they decided to do something with the hat.
Yeah. I don't want an ecological waste of building materials just to tear it down and let it rot somewhere.
Yeah.
But the permit was for demolition of it, which to me does not say dismantling and moving.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's not like they're going to implode it, though, is it?
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Get some experts in to dynamite around the bottom of it and watch it implode.
Or send it up in the sea.
Get NASA involved. See how high you can get it.
That's one hell of a fireworks show.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, they block it out, the view of it, every now and then by putting stages in front of it anyway. So are they still going to leave that plaza for various Frozen 2 stage show when that comes out?
I'd imagine.
Yeah, I would think so, yeah. You can still do that in front of the Chinese theatre.
Yeah, yeah. Who knows?
Gives you more room, actually.
I would say who knows. I'm sure someone at Disney knows. If we have any Imagineers listening, let us know.
Yeah. Come on.
Come on. We won't tell anyone.
Come on.
Come on.
No one listens anyway.
Well, Philip Gass, but you know he's not in charge now, so.
No. Oh dear. I mean, what else has been around this week? Some new photographs of Avatar Land.
Yeah.
But
really, I missed that.
Yeah.
Anything of note, or just?
Well, all I saw of it was some aerial photographs, which could be of anything and don't give anything away.
But it's a big area.
Yeah, it's quite a big area, but yeah, vague news. Look, there's some earth moving going on, and they're building stuff. So yeah, I haven't got anything to add. Bob, I just tested the prototype of the ride apparently.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do. You know, that's something that interests me. Actually, I remember seeing a documentary, and it was must have been Turn of the Millennium or something. The documentary, so it was quite old. I watched it about 4 or 5 years ago. It was on some random channel, and it was talking about really famous theme park rides. Yeah. And what they showed you was them testing Spider-Man back in 1996 or 1997, and basically it was done as you'd experience it. So they had the ride vehicle, but naked. So there was no design on it, anything like that. It was just like
the ride vehicle
on wheels.
Okay, the
ride vehicle.
Really quite naked.
And they had some kind of screens set up, but they were very shabby. You know, not like the professional IMAX domes and screens they have in the actual ride. Just some screens set up so they could project on it, and the movement. So you could see you could feel how the movement was going to be as you kind of ran along the ride. It was very interesting because, like, that's all there was to it. It was essentially as if you hired out a warehouse and just stuck a car in it, and you know, just had it testing like that. So I'm guessing that's probably, you know, a similar kind of setup to what he'd have tried out.
Well, apparently, the comment he made after talking to someone from Variety magazine or something was, it felt so real and so lifelike. There's never been anything like it. Again, vague, but it's because they were originally, all the concept art was originally the boat rides, wasn't it?
That's right, yeah.
But apparently he was referring to a flying banshee.
Which is the other ride they're talking about, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't they say something similar about Ratatouille?
Very possibly. There's never been anything like it, except Mystic Manor.
Well, Ratatouille was essentially Spider-Man without the really juddery movement.
Yeah.
And Mystic Manor, the trackless system.
Yeah. There's never. It's felt so real, so lifelike. Here's the quote: "There's never been anything like it." Iger was referring to taking a test ride on board one of the flying banshees that will take guests on a trip through Pandora in a next generation Soarin' type ride. So there's never been anything like it, except Soarin'.
the problem with Bobby, that's how I call it.
Yeah.
Obviously, is the position he's in. He's going to say stuff like that.
Yeah.
Let's not beat around the bush. He's not going to turn around and go, yeah, wasn't it? And to be honest, it was just like Soarin'.
We've been planning it for 2 years. It was just like Soarin'. And I went on it's realistic. There's absolutely nothing like it testing the new boat ride, except possibly It's a Small World. In fact, I went on It's a Small World, and all they did was shine some lights and pretend to be some big glow-in-the-dark plants.
I think they're playing a very, very dangerous game. We've talked about this ever since the start of this show.
Yeah.
Anyway, that we think it maybe not been the smartest idea. Yeah. But at least at that point in time, when we were talking about the here and now, i.e. where we are in time now, Avatar 2 would have been out and Avatar 3 would have been coming out.
Yeah.
Now, as far as I'm aware, I think they're starting this year, but they still haven't started filming Avatar 2 yet.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's just ask the bloke in the pub that we call Google. Avatar 2, 2016.
Right.
I just when this was first talked about and everything like that, they had a timeline for when the sequels were going to be. And because it's James Cameron, they're just effectively allowing him to do whatever they want to do, whenever they want to do it, and there's no kind of rules or regulations.
Yeah.
This doesn't open until 2017, so if they hold the schedule, 2 comes out in 2016, it's good timing.
It's still in status pre-production, so they haven't actually started. They haven't shot a frame yet.
But see,
they're shooting on the film.
The problem I had with it is the fact Avatar came out in 2009.
Yeah.
2009. Since 2009 and now, what have we had about Avatar? There's been no TV shows, there's been no follow-ups, there's been no spin-offs.
Yep.
It has just been the lasting memory of the film, which, quite frankly, as time has gone on, has not been kind to it.
And,
the 3D was outstanding when it first came out. And in the realms of 3D films, if you're watching it for like the effects and everything like that, it's still pretty much up there in terms of how the 3D was used and, the effects that it had. But there have been other films since then that have, done effects like it just as well, if not better, in some ways. It seemed very forward thinking at the time, but now 6 years on, coming up to 6 years on, and with nothing else going for it, how many people still care about Avatar in the same way they did back then? They need to get stuff out sharpish. And the problem is, because it's not Disney that's doing it, it's 20th Century Fox, then, to be honest, they've got their own interests to worry about. Disney have got this theme park thing to worry about. They can't really put Fox to do something.
No.
Because what the Fox care? Really? The film will come out when it come out and it'll make $1 billion.
If I had What Does the Fox Say here right now, but I'm not even going to search for it during any form of editing I may have to do or not do.
Yeah, it's not worth it for that.
No.
But I'm glad you was thinking along. While I said it, I kind of realised the foxhole that I put myself in.
Yeah.
So anyway, as we talked about last show, Star Wars next year.
Yeah.
Who cares? Oh, this year even.
This year even. Yeah. And Bond.
Yes.
Star Wars and Bond and Big Hero 6.
Well,
Big Hero 6, of course, to American listeners has already kind of come and not gone necessarily, but it's definitely come. And of course, we don't get it until the 30th of January over in the UK.
Nope.
Which I think is 3 weeks before the US home video release. This is what I love about release dates nowadays. Unless we get it at the same time as America, we can actually almost buy it to keep forever before we've seen it at the cinema. But there were exclusive previews, early previews in the UK today, the 4th of January. Yeah. I was lucky enough to go.
I mean, how?
You tee it up, I knock it in.
Yeah. How?
How?
Because
my local cinema was showing it. That's why.
I was going to say, I don't even get press invitations, and my name's on the one that runs a bleeding podcast.
Don't worry about that, because the press don't like me either.
That's all right.
It was very, very strange. There's been no publicity. Like, there've been adverts on telly. I'm sure you've seen. Releasing January 30th.
Yep, I saw an advert for it when we went to see Paddington the other week.
Very good. See, there you go. Yeah. So that, as far as I was concerned, when it was coming out, then I heard that there were going to be an early preview on the 4th of January. So again, I thought, well, what news organisation do I have to badger to get tickets for this invite? Only to find that it was being shown at certain local cinemas. And luckily for me, my local flea pit, the £4 cheap wonder horse known as Premier Cinemas, was also showing it in 2D and 3D. However, because of the time it was going to be on today, it was only on once in 3D, so I did not see it in 3D because I'm going to buy it in 3D anyway, so I'll watch it at home.
Yep.
So I just saw it in regular 2D. I can say I'm sure it will be absolutely brilliant in 3D. When you watch films, you can just sense sometimes how things are going to be in that third dimension, and it definitely feels like one of those films that's it'll add a few bits to it, but at the end of the day, a film is only as good as its story. 3D doesn't make a film good or bad, and luckily it was a very good film. Now I think what's even better about it is, if you don't know, I'm sure you must have heard, but Big Hero 6 was a Marvel comic.
Was it?
So it's there you go.
I did not know that.
Well, see, and this is what I think is so beautiful about the whole thing, because Guardians of the Galaxy was a Marvel comic book. Me as a comic book nerd, never heard of it. I'd heard of Howard the Duck, who appears in the film, but I wasn't familiar with the comic book known as Guardians of the Galaxy. Disney basically took the franchise, made a film of it, of a film no one really was bothered about before it came out, and made an amazing film. This is how good Guardians of the Galaxy was, because I know you haven't seen it still. I bought it. I went to cinema and saw it. I bought it when it came out. Invited the mother-in-law and the wife to watch it, who neither of them were that bothered about seeing it. We've now watched it 3 times since I bought it.
High praise indeed.
Because and although Lindsay will of course watch films more than once, it's normally after like a period of time, or in Frozen's case, whenever the daughter puts it on. But this was like, oh, can we watch Guardians of the Galaxy again tonight? Really enjoyed it that much. So they took a franchise no one cared about and turned it into something that people did care about. And although Big Hero 6 is loosely based on a comic that no one cared about, so it's not to do that much with the comic, they've again taken something that no one really cared about and turned it into something great. It is probably the closest you're going to get to like a Mal Frozen kind of film, in the fact that there's so many likable characters. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of humour. There's also tension. There's drama. There's action. There's no songs. So that's one place it will have an advantage for a lot of people. Because, although I think Frozen's great, I know it's not for everyone. But it's an excellent film. And I think, the other thing that's good about it is the fact that Frozen was obviously geared, although it's enjoyed en masse by boys and girls, it's obviously a princess film. It's obviously aimed more at girls. It just happens to have that crossover appeal. This is obviously a boys' film. But seeing it in the first showing this morning, it was full of kids. And, boys and girls were really enjoying it. So again, I can definitely sense that crossover. That there was some very strong female heroes in it as well. Lots of humour, lots of fun. it was really enjoyed. Like, people were buzzing when they left the cinema this morning, and it's always nice to go and watch a film when people are leaving and that's happening. So I think they've got another hit on their hands, and the merchandise is already out and it's everywhere. So I think it's they're obviously expecting big things from it. But I'm glad they're taking a property that no one cared about and made it good. So that's two Marvel films in a row that no one cared about before they come out, and now they do. There is already a meet and greet with Baymax, who's the white...
The big robot.
Thing. Well, yeah. I suppose he is a robot. He's a robot.
From what you see of it, yeah.
Yeah, well, no, he is. I mean, the difference is he's made of like a vinyl, rather than what you'd normally expect a robot to be. So his inside's obviously robotic, but the outside of him is vinyl. And he's great. When we left today, I actually said if I didn't have kids, I'd want a Baymax. Because he was that cool. You'd want to have him around. He was that useful and nice and friendly and great. You'd want one for yourself. They've made a very good character with him. But there's already meet and greets at Disney World, at least. And my friend queued up for an hour and 20 minutes to meet him last week.
An hour and 20?
Hour and 20.
I wonder how that's still comparing to the Anna and Elsa's.
From what I understand, it has calmed down considerably. I think they're doubled up now.
Yeah.
I think you can meet them in more than one location. So it does make it a bit easier. But yeah, I think it's an initial thing. It's a new film, it's a new characters. People always want to go and meet the new characters. Yeah. But the meet and greet does look very good. I will say that. The Baymax does look very, very good. So I was a little bit jealous. But yeah, really, really good film. And I know... Well, Mr. Dolan, you can go and see films whenever you want. It's all right for you.
Yeah. I didn't realise though that I'd missed an opportunity today, because I didn't realise it wasn't out until the 30th of January, and I've just checked my World of Cine app, and of course after today it's gone. So it was actually on in 2D and 3D right through the whole day.
Yeah.
I did have an opportunity to go and see it, and instead of which I went to see Theory of Everything, which is also a very good film, but not a Disney film.
Yeah.
It was recently described. I had a meeting at work, and in my job we do a lot of work with Dolby.
Yep.
And we sometimes get to go to the head office and see films early in their special screening room with Dolby Atmos sound, which is incredible. 66 speakers in one room. Very good. And we're having a meeting in January, and my boss said, yes, we're having a meeting in January, and we'll be watching a film afterwards, and I've got it signed off with Dolby. We're going to see a brand new film, and I can't remember what it's called. It's about that disabled fellow.
Yeah.
That is how he described the film.
Yeah.
It's about that disabled fellow.
Finding Nemo.
I've never wanted a seat to swallow me up so much in my life. It was just the most cringe. But we obviously figured out what it was actually called.
Yeah, we got
obviously the theory of everything.
It's Peter Pan. It's Captain Hook he's talking about, isn't it?
we got corporate tickets to go and see The Imitation Game. Because I work for a company that puts an awful lot of sponsorship money into Bletchley Park, so that they had.
We've been guessing that for a while, Paul. That you're connected to that sort of game.
So we put the premiere. The premiere was there, and we had to guard the stars. So
yeah.
You do realise that all the jokes we make behind the scenes about you've just really amped up to 11.
Haven't helped, have I?
Yeah.
No, not at all. This is going to continue.
Oh dear.
But I've been quite lucky, to be honest, because...
Yeah, and I just wonder what really did happen to Craig.
He has been quite quiet recently, actually. So's the pub singer, actually. I hope he's okay. But I have been quite lucky, because I'm not sure if you even know or can remember what films came out when your kids were born. But in the year of my kid's birth, we had Frozen and we had Big Hero 6. And I think they're both going to stick around for a long time. As films that people really enjoy and love. So it'd be interesting to see what films were out when you're kids were born.
Yeah.
Without trying to make you feel aged or anything. Obviously.
Avatar.
Disney films though.
Oh, no. I've got Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince.
No, that's not Disney, is it?
Not really, but
No.
And
in 2009,
Lesbian Vampire Killers. Harry Brown.
2009 would have given you what? Princess and the Frog? I think. Then that was 2009.
2009 is that
Rapunzel was 2000. Tangle was 2010. I'm sure. That's 2009.
I can't.
Could be.
It's
No,
not,
hang
it's
on.
not coming up in the list. It depends whether Sherlock Holmes.
No, Tangle was 2010. So it must have been Princess and the Frog.
Let's look at the oldest now. Harry Potter. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix.
Princess and the Frog, of course, would be the last hand-drawn Disney animation.
Yeah.
I think.
Resident
I think
Evil.
everything's been CGI.
Yeah, that one sums up my oldest daughter, Resident Evil.
Resident Evil.
Better hope she doesn't hear this.
Yeah.
What about yours, Mr. Dolan? What years are we looking at your daughters?
I'm gonna give me 2 seconds. So on the youngest daughter, Disney connection would be The Lion King.
94.
94. Yeah.
Wow.
Also that year, Forrest Gump. The Shawshank Redemption. Top film.
Top film. Yeah.
And Interview with the Vampire. Now let me see.
See, The Lion King. That was probably before Frozen. That was probably the last big Disney film. Good year, Paul.
Yeah. So 1991, Beauty and the Beast. Book. And let's see, other movies. Silence of the Lambs.
I don't care. I still rate Hook. I know I shouldn't because it's crap, but no, I like Hook.
I've had to look at I've had to look for me now, and 2001. Oh, not the year I was born because I'm older than that by quite a while. Ah, dear. Carry on up the Khyber.
Oh, don't make it up on.
Sums up so well.
Oh dear.
Right, well, I'm pretty sure it was Sorcerer in the Stone because I was 63, so let's see. I'm going to go on that.
Yeah.
Let me see. Oh, The Greatest Escape. Oh, God.
Oh, I've got to give a shout.
Got Cleopatra from Russia with Love.
While we're waiting to find out the Disney connection is there, I'm going to give a shout out and an apology, public apology, to Vicky Wells, long-time fan of the show, because I incorrectly guessed her son was in a Disney Channel advert.
Yeah.
It's not my fault. Like, when you see someone fleetingly in a quick commercial and you're kind of half paying attention to it, you're like, oh, yeah, I'm sure I recognise that child. When I asked her, I was, completely wrong.
Okay, fair enough.
So, apologies for that.
Well, Vicky gets a second shout out today because I did mention, and she has replied to a Facebook post as well. So,
very good.
We'll do that a bit later.
Let's not do this stuff. This is really good for a podcast. I'm sure people really appreciate
the humming as we're looking at websites. I'm spending
time looking on Wikipedia at what films. So I don't think I had a Disney release in my birth year. Tron was a year before. I don't really count that. The Black Cauldron was 1985. The Fox and the Hound was 81. There's a 4-year gap between films.
I've got Winnie the Pooh. Actually, no. I have. Yeah, there is some in mine. I found a different page. Winnie the Pooh and the Blustery Day. The Love Bug. Blackbeard's Ghost. And a couple of other ones I've never heard of.
A lot of action ones there.
Family Band and Never a Dull Moment. Whatever. Interesting.
Yeah, Sword in the Stone for me.
See, I love the Sword in the Stone. In fact, I'm about to buy an I think it's an excellent T-shirt. It's a picture of Arthur.
Yeah.
From Sword of the Stone, pulling out a sword from the stone.
Yeah.
However, his clothing has turned into, let's say, white robes,
Okay.
And the sword he's putting out is that of a lightsaber.
All right. It was either going to be that, or I was going to go down the route of the he's dressed as Ned Stark.
Yeah, Sword in the Stone 1963. Yeah, I think that was one of the first Disney films I ever saw on video. It's only one of those ones that I kept asking to be rented out again and again. Actually, let's explain this to our younger listeners, because this is something our kids definitely won't appreciate.
No.
And that is that back in the day, you couldn't just go onto Netflix or Now TV or Amazon Prime, and other services are available, and select a Disney film to watch.
3 times in one show now.
Look, as I said, it's been a while.
It's a new year. Get them out.
Whoever banned me, I've forgotten to ban me. I'm drinking. It's all right. But you used to be able
Absolutely.
to just... Oh, now we're going old school.
Cliche corner. Welcome to Cliche Corner.
Like the other day, Alice pulled out from the DVD rack Toy Story.
Yeah.
And because I had the PlayStation on, rather than get the disc and put it in, I just hit up Now TV, selected it, and played it. That's how I could play a film nowadays.
Yep.
If I wanted to go and see a Disney film when I was a child, I had to beg my dad to drive me or drive to the video shop.
Yep.
And actually choose me one, and I have to give somebody some money to borrow something.
Yeah.
So you had to give over cash to borrow something you had to take back.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to buy it to keep, and I don't think you could do it with Disney films. I certainly don't remember it Disney films.
There was a few that occasionally came out of the vault.
Yeah. If you wanted to buy a Disney film, or you wanted to buy a videotape to keep, you were looking at, back then, about £70. Which nowadays, what we're talking, £70 back in the 80s, about 150 quid?
Yeah.
Maybe? Yeah, a lot of money. And it was for VHS. Now, unlike DVDs and Blu-rays, VHSs had a shelf life. The more you watch them, the crappier they got.
Yeah.
And the quality wasn't very good to begin with. None of this high definition stuff we get nowadays. Very grainy. And it's just incredible. But that is how you got to like see films.
Your films.
Yeah. And we were happy with that as well. We just accepted it as a status quo.
Yeah.
Now the other day I went into his master's voice.
Yeah.
Paid £25 for 2 3D Blu-ray films, and felt shortchanged at paying £25 for 2 films.
Yeah. Yeah.
When well, God knows how much they were in the 80s. Probably been on Laserdisc or something. But yeah, it's incredible. You do not know how lucky you've got it nowadays. Very privileged.
You are, of course, assuming we have anyone under about 20 listen to us. I'm not listening to that podcast with three old men talking.
Yeah, when people listen to this in 10 years' time,
yeah,
when we're on holodisc or something,
because it will be digital and it will be around forever.
That's right. We'll live longer than the memory.
Yeah.
Then yeah, people listen to this go, really? Did I tell you, like, I bought a cassette tape of Guardians of the Galaxy recently? Did I tell you about that? I bought a soundtrack on cassette tape.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's a big thing in the film. When the home video release of Guardians of the Galaxy, they released the soundtrack on a cassette, and I had to phone up again his master's voice because they were in a place selling it, and I phoned up a couple and said, "Excuse me, do you have Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack on cassette?" And this woman said, "Do you mean cassette as in that thing people used to listen to music on?" I went, "Yeah." She was like, "We don't sell cassettes." I said, "Well, no, I know you don't nowadays." I said, "But you do. You sell this one." And it was only when she looked it up on a database, like the store's database, that she saw that they actually did. She was like completely shocked.
Anything to actually play it on?
No. Well, my granddad-in-law, he's got a cassette player still, and I've got a Walkman somewhere.
Has he just got the one, or has he got a big Amstrad unit with 2 of them side by side that weren't used for any legitimate purpose whatsoever?
No, he's got one of these ones that and I've never been, so I can only guess on watching TV shows. Did get in a police interrogation room?
Yeah.
Or a school. or school when you was like recording music in school. One of these ones where you have to press play and record at the same time, and it's got like a speaker on the back of it. Yeah, one of those bad boys. But it was more the fact just like kooky to have one.
Yeah,
a cassette again. With I'd say new music. It's not, of course. It's 70s and 80s stuff, but
it's the sort of stuff that you originally got on cassette.
Yeah, it's just like a proper mixtape. It's brilliant.
That's awesome.
But I can only guess at how good it sounds. I don't know.
Yeah. The thing is, you can almost I'm going to put this on a shelf and never take it out of its cellophane wrapper. but then it's like Schrodinger's cat. Is there actually anything on it?
That's it. It could be completely blank. But this is the thing, because I bought it in cassette. Then Lindsay watched the film and she wanted the soundtrack. So because we only had it on cassette, she had to then go and buy it from Amazon. And we've now got a digital copy as well as a CD of it, because you get that's one good thing.
Yeah,
you get both. That's quite nice. But yeah, so I can vouch for the CD and the digital download being very good, but I've got no idea what the cassette sounds like.
They deliberately added noise in the background. Well, it was mastered digitally.
Who can tell?
Fantastic.
Who can tell?
Fantastic.
So that's movie reviews for this week.
Yeah.
Very long.
A movie review about. I don't know why we even bother with movie reviews, because it's like if a lot of our listeners are from that side of the pond, we're reviewing films that have been out for months anyway. So.
Well, yeah, you say that, but the thing is, like this year, let's try and make a promise now. Let's see if we can get the dates lined up.
All right.
Right, because we get the Avengers.
What, Age of Ultron?
Age of Ultron. About it's either a week or 2 weeks earlier than the US.
Okay.
So what we can do?
I'm up for a challenge to actually get the show out in time.
You'll get out before, like, one day before the American release.
Yeah.
We'll do a show, and what we'll do is we'll spoil the film for everyone. But it'll only really affect our American listeners, because the UK ones would have watched it by that point.
Yeah.
So so we'll just spoil it for the American listeners. I kid, I jest. I don't like spoilers. But yeah. So Big Hero 6 gets a big thumbs up from this man.
I haven't seen them yet.
Oh, what, you mean Big Hero 1 to 5?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the Man is King George III. I haven't seen the first two of those either.
No, it was only a matter of time before that particular pun came out, and I can guarantee someone else is using it somewhere.
You do. I'm sure we've had that discussion before about the Man is King George III, haven't we?
And various other ones, yeah.
That is my favourite, though.
Yeah.
I don't know what happens in the first two. Oh, wow. Yeah. Was there any other Disney news or anything?
No, I think, yeah. If there was, we could always save it for the next show.
Yeah, but it'll be out of date by then.
Yeah.
That's something extra cool. I'll tell you, you know what, actually, here's my tip for anyone, especially if you've recently had a boy rather than a girl.
Yeah.
I just spent £22.50 in a Disney store today on Guardians of the Galaxy toys.
Yeah.
Because I'm apparently too old to play with them.
Oh.
But I'm hoping that my son, when he gets to about 5 or 6, will love to play with them.
Yeah.
So they've all gone down in sale. What makes me laugh, though, is they've all been reduced in sound, obviously, because the film has now been out of the cinema and is now on DVD. They always try and get rid of stock for the new film to come out and everything like that. And the Disney store, they're really cheap. But everywhere else I've looked today, they've reduced them, but they're still about half the price more than the Disney store selling everything. So that's my advice. Yeah, I'm sure I was going to say something else, but it was pretty boring, so I can't remember.
No, well, I think, we're almost done here anyway, aren't we? I don't know. I did mention a bit earlier that on Facebook that it is a bit of a chilly night here. So
it's been freezing.
Shout outs and warm thoughts of Florida are welcome. And we reached a few people, but Vicky Wells again. The one whose son isn't in an advert.
He's not in advert.
Yeah.
Not in advert at all.
Well, she is currently definitely thinking of Florida as she prepares to go back and teach a class full of kids who are probably full of cold and germs from Christmas.
You're both going this year, aren't you?
No.
No, you're not going?
No, and I now can actually say I went to Florida last year.
Oh. If it's any consolation, I can now say I went to Florida 5 years ago.
Yeah, we might. I think we get to Paris this year, and the savings pot is being topped back up for another trip in 2016 now. So
fair enough. Yeah, I actually bought I bought some Disney shares the other day after our conversation on our last show, which by the time it goes out will possibly be before or after this show. I'm not sure, but I had bought my extra Disney shares, so I now own, like the Dalmatians, 101. Yeah. You know what? I never understood that, actually. Mainly because I've never seen the film.
Yeah.
She doesn't give birth to 101 pups, does she? So where did the other Dalmatians come from?
99.
She gives birth to 99 pups?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Counting the original 2 that created 99.
The IVF really works.
I think I'm going to call it time there before I go off and start using language that is incredibly inappropriate.
Was you going to make some comment about the fact that there were 99 boys and not a single girl?
No, I think I was going to make a comment about someone. No, I won't.
Good. Okay, we'll get off that subject.
It may have involved a Albert Hall and a conductor's wand.
Okay. Yeah, that's a slightly different one. I think we're after I got my 101 shares. I'm just waiting for my shareholders' card to be approved, and that should all be fine. I think we're going to be going for a couple of days this year. We were thinking about going for a few, but to be honest, like I've said after my last trip, there's not been enough change. So we want to go and see the Swing in the Spring Festival, but otherwise, I don't think there's going to be much that we're going to want to do. So I think we might go for a short 1 night, 2 day excursion.
Yeah,
to Disneyland Paris this year.
Just for a trip. It's a long way to go with 2 kids. Just for 1 night and 2 days. That's a fair set of bags and nappies.
Yeah, but you don't need that much luggage then.
Fair enough.
So I mean, you got the nearest station's only a half-hour drive.
Yeah. Okay.
For me, not too bad.
Anyway, gentlemen. Thank you for joining me. I'll mental note. I really must get this show out.
Good thinking.
It's terrible. We'll get back on track. And yes, thank you, dear listener, for putting up with us yet again. And thank you for Lewis Sutton for liking that comment at the very last possible minute.
Just before the show finishes.
Yeah.
That's good timing.
That is classic timing. As long as he listens all the way through to the end as well, it'll be fine. Right. I will see you all in approximately 2 weeks' time.
Indeed. Good night.
Right.
Good evening. Thank you very much, listener, and see you guys later.
Growing older is mandatory. Growing up is optional. Disafterdark, the podcast that's nearly the same as all the others.
Genteel.
It's quite relaxing, isn't it?
It is.
I like it.
And there are probably still people wondering, what on earth is this music?
Luckily, it's alright, because what I could do is I could Shazam it.
I could. Does it even work if you talk over it?
Let's keep talking over it and we'll soon find out.
Oh dear.
I like the fact that I talked about Big Hero 6 and how great it was and didn't even talk anything about the story.
I think you did really well there, actually. Yeah.
Just don't worry about the story. Like, you'll enjoy it when you see it.
Yeah. Oh dear. Anyway. And we're out.